Yeah,
We're here,
we're
I
here.
think.
Sorry about that. Minor technical difficulty.
Yeah.
No, welcome everybody that's here. This is kind of I don't know, after we did it last year, it was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. And we did it. And at the end of the Thanksgiving Live, we asked people who would want us to do a Christmas Live. And it was overwhelming, and it was kind of moving the number of people that actually wanted to see us on their holiday, and that may not be sitting there with family like we are today. So, want to welcome everybody, and it is an honor to be here. Yep. Yes, all of us. And oddly enough, we all three moved here within a couple of months of each other without knowing each other. It was not planned. June 21st. Yeah. Okay. For us, we did not have a final landing place immediately or jobs lined up, anything like that. So we had just a vicinity. We liked the Willow area, and we just got here and made our way from there. Phyllis had a job within a couple of weeks. We found where we're currently living. Uh, we may have made a mistake on that one, as it's in a flood zone. So that's caused some heartache, but we've got a solution to that coming forthright. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was, I don't know, not exactly as expected, but it worked out. Rob and Sarah.
Um,
Oh, hmm, go back to so for us anyway, as far as how it differed from what we expected, I I thought it would be easier to get a job making what I was making, which even where I'm at, and I'm not doing too badly, but it's not making what I thought I would be making. And the amount of snow I was absolutely astounded by, because I had talked to somebody in town and they said, well, most people rent a D3 in the middle of the winter to move snow. And I thought he was messing with me. There's no way anybody rents a dozer to move snow. That is made up. And you're messing with me because I'm from Wisconsin. That year we got like 20 feet. And wow, that was a struggle. And there was no firewood on site. There wasn't even a wood stove. So we ended up, our firewood was incredibly green. I had to put in a stove. I did the stovepipe completely wrong. And we definitely had some issues. And it was 20 below for like 3 weeks in a row. So we had a struggle. There was no water on site, no heat on site. So that first winter was a tough one. We were definitely being tested. Um, but other than that, it's it's tough up here. I would say it's more about who you know than what you know, because that gives you access to a lot of the things that we do, like going on the bear hunt. If I hadn't met those people, there's no way I would go because it was a $25,000 hunt, and they took me out there for free. So um, meeting people up here, especially through like this venue, YouTube, opens up a whole new world to you to make things easier for when you finally move here. That's my opinion, Phyllis. Anything different?
Not really.
Okay.
No, it's all you know.
Yeah. Rob and Sarah?
Open the window, please. Thank you.
Yeah, as far as we go, we are absolutely not retired. I'll probably work until I'm 98 or so. In addition to that, there's what we do here. Um, Currently, well, I don't want to say much, but things are going to change a little bit in that realm going forward, where I get a little bit more time off to do a lot of the things I need to do, plus what I want to do, because I didn't move to Alaska to work 60, 70 hours a week. And Phyllis works at the local thrift store, and which has unbelievable benefits to us because we get a lot of the stuff that we need right from there. Um,
And I can do laundry.
all right, which helps because we do not have running water on site. And then we have a question from Carrie Ramsey. What was each of your guys' motivation to move to Alaska? Alone?
Totally. Because-
Because everybody's home.
Yeah.
Well, our motivation, I guess, we had done pretty much everything we could do in Wisconsin, and I like to hunt and fish. And to be honest with you, I got kind of tired of just hunting deer. So getting a chance to move up here, it was something I wanted to do since I was in the military, and we finally had the opportunity and we jumped on it. But we had planned it and we had taken 3 trips up here prior to actually moving here. So it wasn't like something we did spur of the moment. It was pretty well planned, even though once you get here, the most solid plans can fall apart in about 2 seconds once you actually get there. Which, yeah, we kind of had some of that, but so far it's been amazing. This year alone, we got to do a caribou hunt, a moose hunt, maybe a little bit of bear hunting, not that much, but we are working on that. Rob and Sarah? Cool. Well, I'll start it off. I mean, I like the isolation. I like the quiet. I'm very, very comfortable being alone and not being missed alone, but being alone and apart from other people. In fact, so much that we recently purchased a property that is far more off grid, and there's nothing there at all. And I can get there by train or by boat or sometimes snow machine. So I love the isolation. It was weird, as isolated as we are. When we went on the caribou hunt, we were up by the North Slope, Prudhoe Bay, Dead Horse. It was so quiet up there that after being up there for a week, we came back and this felt like we were in downtown Minneapolis. It was kind of overwhelming for about 24 hours. So the quieter and the more remote I can get, the better.
Yeah.
And it's important, I would say, one of the most important things, that if you happen to be a couple and you are doing this, you both better share the exact same dream. Otherwise, you won't be a couple for long, or you'll be a couple in another state soon. Just, I'm saying that's how it always works out. You either share the exact same dream or you go home. So, alone? Yeah. Yep. Rob and Sarah? Yep. I will add one thing. Ed over at Mountain Mariner recently commented that we're all secretly on the run from the law, and that is not true.
He is.
He may be, but we are not. Yes, I saw that.
Paddington.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, as far as us, as far as cell phones go, we're man down. Okay, as far as us, we are still on our Verizon plan that we brought up here from Wisconsin. However, I will say the AT&T is far better, has far better coverage in Alaska than Verizon does, which was not the truth back home.
In spots.
In spots, yeah. The other thing that most people carry up here, if you go into the way outs, is you have an inReach, or you have like a Garmin 750i that is all satellite based, and that way you can, if you do get attacked by a bear and you're still live, you can send a message that way. And all three of us have Starlink, which helps us a great deal.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Sandollar J says, "Did any of you live somewhere other than the United States?" Not for any length of time. We haven't. We have. I mean, I was in the Navy, so I'm fairly well traveled. But I wouldn't say that, other than being alive there, I didn't live there. Rob and Sarah. Yeah. And no, plaid is not a requirement to be in this gig. If so, alone wouldn't be able to be here.
Right.
Very nice. Right. If the women don't find you handy, no. Oh, let's see. What do we got? Ah, that's a good question, because I will forewarn everybody that it is more expensive to live here no matter how you look at it. Yes, we supplement a lot of groceries by either growing our own or catching, $5,000 worth of fish for free and all of that. But it, well, yeah, it was quite the trip. But everything is more expensive. So, but at the same time, if you look at all of us, well, except for a loan, we do not have an electric bill. We don't have a water bill. We don't have a sewer bill. I don't have a car payment. There's a lot of stuff like that. If you move up here with a lot of debt and don't already have a good job, that would not be a good choice. Um, and the other thing that we found that helps a ton as far as food wise is using the Costco Business Center. Uh, that is absolutely worth it. How much money we save on groceries, and we bulk buy, and a lot of dry stores and stuff, and that's what we do. Hmm. Uh, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Scoop's just chilling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a handful.
What?
Yeah. Fireman Ox One Knox, I guess I'm saying that right, maybe, is asking, may I ask how much land do you live on? We have about 3 acres here, and the land we just purchased is 4 1/4. Alone? Or yeah,
Perfect.
nice. Nice. Clint, oh, go ahead. Clint Gilchrist, question: how much snow does everyone have?
Where are we at?
We're at about 16 inches right now. We've probably gotten a solid 2.5 feet this year, but like Alone says, it keeps settling and settling, pretty quickly, honestly. And when it's super cold, like it is today, it's also evaporating into the air. So, um, yeah, but it's absolutely beautiful outside. If I could show you right now, all the trees are covered with thick frost, and it is gorgeous outside. 12 degrees.
Minus?
Negative. Well, that's negative 12 degrees. I'm sorry. Negative. Yeah. Yeah. It is a huge difference between us three with the different regions of Alaska we live in.
What's a little?
No,
Hmm.
it's a okay.
So Madhu Nanda is in Fairbanks and she's minus 18 right now. And I am,
Yeah.
yeah, I believe they said they're in the Toke area. They're at minus 26.
Yeah. Yeah. Another question had come up, and it is Thanksgiving, so we should talk about something about that. But what is everybody having for their main course tonight? Rob and Sarah? Nice. Alone? That's oh yeah.
As long as it was a chicken flavored ramen, because that's close enough to turkey ramen.
Maybe they need turkey flavored ramen for Turkey Day.
There you go.
Yeah. Yum. Uh, no, this year we're doing something different other than a turkey because last year my dogs ate most of the turkey, and I bought a big primal prime rib bone in, and that is in the oven right now. And then, of course, sweet potatoes and yeah, we're doing a little different this year. No turkey this year.
No.
Nope.
No, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
There's not enough dark meat on a turkey to
Right.
yeah, it's
That's well, although when you deep fry it, it's all juicy,
true.
which is better. But Lisa Philly has a question. If one of you had a medical emergency, could you get immediate help? And for us, yes, we could.
Well, we could,
I mean, where we are right now, where we're going, no, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we can sew enough and straighten a bone out with a board, so that's
Yeah. Well,
there's a couple.
yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Not bad. Northern Girl Hobbies is saying, "Is it crazy humid in Alaska?" Now, that that's one of the things that I was a little bit shocked by. Honestly, we're not that far from the ocean. We aren't. I mean, Anchorage is at the ocean or Point Mac, so we're maybe an hour and a half away. So I expected kind of extreme humidity. But what I've noticed is that there's like none. There's hardly any humidity here ever. The downside is in the winter, we get a lot of ice fog here in Willow, and the Parks Highway from a little bit north of me all the way to Anchorage will be ice covered and slippery most of the winter, as it is right now. It has like a quarter inch of ice on it, and it's not from snow. They sand it, but it's icy in the morning again.
What?
Yeah. way colder. Yeah, yeah, agree. Um, let's see. We have okay. There's one. Ah, good question. Alone? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd say my biggest challenge here is keeping everything running in the winter. Um, we get we get extremely cold, and I swear I'm putting a battery in something, and I've got enough small engines around here between the boat to snow machines to you name it, cars, trucks. It's just always keeping things running. Um, Definitely have a good block heater or a battery warmer, whichever your poison may be. For us, it's harder. Oh yeah, yeah. Plug them in way early. Don't plug it in 12 minutes before you're supposed to leave and expect it to do anything. Um, it needs. Mhm. Batteries, especially, you can kill a battery below like 10 volts. And where I work, I deal with that on a daily basis. Except trucks use 4 batteries, and it costs about $900 every time we have a battery issue. So maintaining those and making sure you're ready for that that's our biggest challenge in surviving flood season. But wasn't bad this year. Right, right. My bet asks, why doesn't the cold winter kill the mosquitoes? Whew. I I think their little eggs are under the water. And like on a year like this, when we get a lot of snow, I could go out there, even though it's 20 below, and there's a crust on the topsoil about 3, maybe 6 inches deep. And after that, the ground is still soft and warm. The mosquitoes, their eggs and whatever, they're in the water. And we have a river like 12 feet away. And in Alaska, there are more bogs and rivers and lakes here than I don't know where else. And they've got plenty of places to go, unfortunately. Mhm. He did. You told me about that, Rob. He had a little fur jacket on, though, didn't he? Mhm. Mhm. Carrie oh, yeah. Yep. We have about 14 chickens and, well, the current count is 4 dogs, soon to drop by 1.
And we had a moose this morning.
Oh, yes, and we had a nice moose this morning.
Scared the bejeepers out of me when I opened the door.
Yeah, he was the hump on his back was taller than a Toyota 4Runner. He was probably about a 39-inch moose, and he was walking around licking the salt off the vehicles.
Yep.
So we've got moose licks everywhere.
How far do you live from the vet? Do they make house calls? What in emergency? We do have some mobile vets around here, so if they're in your area, you can call them up and
Mhm.
but
But yeah, there's
We
plenty of vets. There's
yeah.
vets that are particular to horses. Believe it or not, horses are a big thing here in Alaska. I actually work with a lady who has, I don't know, the herd seems to grow by 5 every month, and, they have to buy all their hay, and it is a very expensive proposition to have horses up here. But, yeah, she has vets over quite frequently.
And she gets her hay from Canada, right?
Oh, from Canada, Delta Junction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Mount Mariner has a suggestion that you need a snow machine there alone, and he's got like 4 of them, so should be able to for
Right. Well, I think you might have just started something.
yeah. Uh, it yeah. Yeah, for us recently, I just Phyllis had me go and buy some chicken food. I'm like, man, $50? I'm not sure that we get $50 worth of eggs out of these damn chickens here once a month. So we switched over to doing it like Rob does with the beans and rice. And we add some other stuff to it because you can buy a bag of beans for like $7 and a bag of rice is the same. And it seems to last a long time. So the other thing that we have is when they're producing eggs, we have 12 or 14 hens. They produce way more than we can eat, but we have a freeze dryer and we make good use of those eggs and we freeze dry or we water glass for the rest of the year when they aren't producing. Northern Girl Hobbies asks, your moose season done now? Just Bo. That is correct. But in
Oh.
yeah, it's just Bo.
Oh.
He wasn't legal.
Oh.
Yeah. Phyllis is wanting me to shoot the moose that was in the yard now.
I was gonna shoot him.
Yeah, he was not legal. Um, in Alaska, moose hunting has some very, very strict rules. They either got to be a spike fork 50 inches or 3 brow tines, or like where we're at, Rob, they're 4 brow tines. So you better get really good at judging dimensions that way. Um, but yeah, for us, I won't shoot a cow. I think that's wrong. We don't have enough moose as it is. You don't need to do that. But yeah, yeah, that is it. Um, and we do add light to our chicken coop as well, but it doesn't seem to help. They don't keep making eggs.
Not ours. I will.
I haven't, though I'm pretty sure I will. I just haven't done it yet. We don't.
Right.
And we only actually get wind down here in Willow 3 or 4 days a year. This year was a bit of an exception. It was
We had like 6 days.
yeah, we had like 6 days of wind, but not enough to do anything. Hmm. I Leonard, that's a good question. Would owning a horse be a good investment or a deep cost? Would it be worth it where you live? The number one reason why people own horses in Alaska is to use them for hunting, because there are a lot of units that are foot traffic only, and horses use their feet, so that counts. And they use horses for moose hunting a lot and caribou hunting. But as far as does that possibly pay for the expense of having the horse and having to buy every bit of hay? Back home, if I got $100 for a round bale, I thought I was in heaven and I was rich. Here they pay up to 4 or $500 per bale. So I'd have to lean on saying no. I'm not sure how it's worth it. I don't know. I know several people that do, but I don't know how you afford it.
I think if we were to get a horse type creature, it would be a mule.
Yeah, a mule would be. I mean, mules are awesome for a lot of different reasons. They can carry like 3 or 4 times more than a horse can, and they're far more wary. So I know I've got a friend that has a mule, and he used to take him moose hunting, and that mule would always spot the moose. The horses would walk right past it and have no clue it was there, but the mule would always spot it. They are far more wary and kind of a unique animal, but they have to have a partner. They can't be just the lone critter in the pen. They have to have something else.
I'll keep him in the house.
No, um, maybe a miniature Highlander or something like that would work.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, not in our future. Alone? Are you thinking about getting a horse? Uh, Mountain Mariner says, "If I got a horse, I'd call him Mr. Ed." Right?
And then he would be the co-chair of Edmondville or whatever.
Yeah, Edmonton. Nice. Yeah. Colin Oh, I'm super good at doing that alone.
It's a good thing he was too far away because I had to edit out words.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my. The number of reasons are so many. If unless you're independently wealthy and you wanna do the hunting and fishing like we do, I'll give you a for instance. If you live in Wisconsin and wanna go on a bear hunt up here, you have to, A, pay for the out-of-state license, pay for a locking tag. It's mandatory that you have a guide. You're gonna pay for your flight. It's gonna be around, um, a bear hunt or a moose hunt costs around $25,000 a piece. As a resident, I can do that for I buy the tags over the counter, and I can walk off in the backyard and shoot a moose or a bear. Um, if that's what you're up here for, yeah. That's perfect. The amount of scenery and the things that we do, people in the lower 48 that we're friends with, they accuse us of being on vacation since we've been up here. Uh, from the ocean fishing, it's just, to me, if you are a lover of the outdoors, it's just this is heaven. Um, that's why we stay here. Alone? Let 'em-
Really.
Right.
And
Well,
do some sort of like exclamation point or a question mark on each and something that makes your question stand out because there's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's hard to see everything.
oh,
Uh-oh.
it is all the way.
Um,
Mhm. Yeah, egg exemptions are really common in Wisconsin as well, where they purposely value your land at a much lower rate. Like say the piece of woods next to you is $4,000 an acre, but if it's an egg, it'll be valued at like $300 an acre. So you actually get you're paying on that. So it's reduced taxes, which is kind of nice. In Alaska, there is some ag, not as much as there used to be. Over by Palmer, Palmer and Copper Center has some areas that actually kind of remind me of Wisconsin, and they may have that very same thing. But where all three of us live, not really, nothing here. And our taxes are what, $300 a year, Phyllis? $600?
I think it's 6.
It's like $600 a year that we pay in taxes here.
But we're
It's around 700. Yeah, it's not very big, but I'm going to just do a little weird one and answer a question from Jackie R. only because I have some firsthand knowledge of it. Jackie R. is asking, "Hi from New Mexico. Is it hard and how expensive to get a horse up there?" It's not hard, but they have to have all their medical certifications, and like you would with a dog or anything like that. I actually have a friend that bought a high-end Frisian. Um, he's a breeder, and they actually shipped him from Finland by via FedEx. I know they shipped a horse FedEx, but they shipped
but
him.
we
They
can't get batteries.
Yeah, but we can't get lithium batteries, but I can get a horse. Um, so they shipped the horse FedEx. He had to fly into like California and be sure he had to be there for like a month to make sure he didn't have any diseases or issues. And then they put him on another plane and brought him to Anchorage. So I guess the cheaper route would be to put him on a trailer behind your truck and bring him up that way. But yeah, you can ship horses FedEx. Who knew? We don't have allergies to
No.
anything.
I know a lot of people are allergic to the cottonwoods. And we
Oh.
have quite a bit of cottonwood in our area because we're low by the river
Yep. Down by the river.
in a van.
We don't live in a van, but no. Oh boy, I see a good one coming up for Rob from Leonard Thomas. He can answer. Leonard Thomas is asking, how much coffee do you buy? Do you go through a lot of coffee and tea in the winter months? I don't know that it changes much winter to summer, but when we go, we buy the big bags, the whole bean, and then we grind it and we use a coffee press. We've got a couple of different coffee presses. We use one that we'll take camping with us that fits in our
Jet boil.
in the jet boil. Otherwise, yeah,
I also have 2 coffee shops on my way to work. One is within a half mile of the house.
yeah, it's
So,
there's coffee shops everywhere
I was
here.
gonna say, I don't know how many are on the way to your work. You got
No,
2, 3, probably 5.
yeah, the best one is actually past work where they serve a mac and cheese and prime rib burrito. It is it is about the best thing I've ever had. It costs $13, but if you can eat the whole thing, you're good for the day.
Oh, that's more than us.
Yeah,
That's more than us.
yeah, and I don't drink tea, so yes.
Oh,
Right. Yeah, that was a good question. General practitioners. Gosh, we have right in Willow here. We don't have a full out hospital. I mean, we're a itty bitty town, just a drive by town, but we do have GPs here
we have
and
2 clinics
two
here.
clinics just in Willow. So
Yep.
um, I'm not on any medication that isn't self induced. Uh, so yeah, yeah,
I believe, um,
I can fly.
but you would have to plan ahead and either have things mailed to you. Like if Rob and Sarah needed medication, they would have to have an arrangement to either get 6 months worth ahead or that it gets shipped to them somehow.
Yep. Yep. Hmm. Yeah. RP, our predators, an issue with horses. That's another good reason they have a mule, because the mule will protect the horses. Yes, they are. I have a friend that was bucked off his horse while moose hunting when a brown bear charged them, and then it got close to the horse. The horse reared up. The brown bear ran on by, but the horse threw him off the back. Um, so yeah, they're definitely an issue. In any places where there are moose, there are predators. Wolves I worry about a whole lot less than I would about the bears. The bears are most definitely something to worry about up here with horses. Oh, Rob,
There it is,
this is
Rob.
for you.
Mhm. Let's see this.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I don't really have any stories to do with it other than the selection is certainly never as good as Menards used to be back in Wisconsin. It's like we carry these 5 things, you know, it's like, Henry Ford saying you can have a Model A in any color you want as long as it's black. That's Alaska department stores. Jack Brown asks, "I eat once a day. Do you all have 3 squares?" I I have to. I'd say I definitely if I don't, like, say I skip breakfast or I skip lunch, I will end up with heartburn by the end of the day. The biggest thing that keeps that away from me is just eating regular.
Mhm. During the week, I only eat twice a day. I'll eat around noon, between 11 and noon, just kind of snacking on stuff, and then supper.
Yeah. And it also depends on your activity level.
Oh, yeah.
So if I'm out in the 20 below cutting firewood, I'm burning calories like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, it definitely matters. How about you?
Oh, okay.
I can eat a lot. I don't know. Hmm.
I
Yeah.
like my popcorn in the evening.
Yeah, I British Tech Guru has a good question. Do you find natural medications are the thing for you to turn to more often? Charcoal for bad stomachs, alcohol for drinking, in cuts, etc. The alcohol for drinking, definitely. Um, I do that, but I will say the more that I'm here, the most I'll ever take for any kind of a pill is a quick Excedrin, or if my back is hurting me in a leave. But we started making a cold medication here with honey and turmeric and um, all the good things and tonic water. And honestly, that works better than any medication I've ever taken for that. And I think the longer that we're here, the more we tend to explore those options.
Yeah, I picked Usnea,
Yep.
and I made a tea out of it for couple weeks.
Yeah.
Because I had a cold like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
And I think it helped.
And when I saw her getting the cold, I started taking my homemade cold medicine, and I never got it. Woohoo!
True.
So preventative medication works best.
Yes. Need to try.
Mhm. Interesting question. So Marie asks, "What are your thoughts about pole shift and how will it affect where you live?" Um, I,
I don't think it's going to affect us in our lifetime.
I, geez, I don't know. I have heard stories on it. There's a lot of conjecture that goes around. I think it would be pretty well catastrophic, uh, either way you look at it. I in none of I try to I deal with the things that are within my control and things that aren't, I don't worry about because I can't do anything about it.
Yep, you just deal
Um,
with them.
and worrying is like paying for a debt you don't owe. So I guess that's my thoughts on it. Alone?
Oh,
Oh, and she grows. Um,
oopsies.
Rob, do you have any input on that? Um,
No,
okay.
no.
Yep, not really. Yeah, I would say that I'm not a fan. That's all I'll say.
I know nothing about it, so if you
So
ignore it, it goes away.
so Red has a question. With the exception of alone, do any of you have family close to you? Joining late may have already been asked. Um, Notice how I ad lib that. That's how my brain works. Um, Currently, our son is here, but he's going to be flying back to Florida shortly. Um, Alaska's been a little tough on him. He came up here with some debt, and that proved to be crippling. So he plans to. It's kind of dumb because he's been here for a year, so he's finally a citizen, and you or a resident. So you have to live in Alaska for 1 year to get resident rights, like dip netting. That's only open for residents. Um, so he is going to fly back. He's going to square his own stuff away and then come up here. Um, which brings up another note: don't move here for a girl. Just just say.
Yep. I have some distant cousins, like my mom's cousins, sort of things, but nobody I'm close to. And
No.
it's kind of nice to know that they're there, but we don't meet up with them. We occasionally text and check in, but that's about it.
they check on us every now and then to make sure the mosquitoes didn't get us or something else. But
Right.
um, yeah, otherwise we're up here alone. Carrie Ramsey, our property's affordable there. Well,
Depends on where you're.
yeah, that really depends on where you want to live. Like the property that we just purchased, I think it was incredibly affordable. 4.25 acres for not that much money. But if you wanted to live downtown Talkeetna, holy smokes, you're going to pay $500,000 for an acre
Yeah.
with nothing on it. How about over in your neck of the woods alone? Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I think we paid about $3,000 an acre for the land that we're getting, which to me it seemed like a steal of a deal. Um, really excited about that. J. Allen Knoll asks, speaking of bears, how does one handle that brown bear when it charges? Ooh, very quickly, I hope. Um, yeah, it's up here. It's ironic. I just had a friend that came up here from Wisconsin, and there was a gun show in Willow, and I couldn't go because I was up checking out the land. And he's like, "Wow, you Alaskans, you have quite the arsenal. You like only the big stuff. There's no small guns here. Like all the pistols were 454 Casuls and everything big." And that is 100% because of the Bears. You have like 5 seconds to make a decision, and sometimes less, and not make mistakes. Like, say you're doing a hike, a lot of people get attacked by bears when they're sheep hunting because they end up between a sow and her cubs. And a lot of those guys like to carry their rifle in their backpack. Well, yeah, I know how that ends up firsthand. So you have to be prepared. It's going to happen if you spend enough time outdoors here. And I know Rob has had some more experiences with that. Yeah, and that I gotta say, being a part of that, that is my first time ever hearing or seeing wolves in the wild, and that was exciting. I mean, my adrenaline was right to the top. That was oh, that was yeah, yeah. And at one point, when I walked up on my land, I was within about 50 yards of a wolf, and then we heard it howling. I'm like, what? How did he get 200 yards away? He's not that. No, yeah, there were at least 3 wolves, and one of them was right close to me. I kinda snuck up on him, which you don't hear people say very often, but that was an awesome experience. That was great, and it not gonna lie, it influenced my decision to buy the land because that was awesome. That was my yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, they'll want a good portion down, 20 to
Right.
40% down, but then they will do owner financing.
And you can't blame them for that either.
Right. Right.
But up here, there are a lot of people that don't want to go through the banks and stuff like that. So there is a lot of owner financing and a lot of the properties you can't get standard financing for because they won't,
Right.
they're not up to code and stuff like that.
Yeah. Remote properties and housing, you have to watch whether or not you can even get insurance on it. Uh, and financing is a whole nother story. We've been lucky so far. We paid cash for the place that we're in, and we're paying cash for the property we're buying. So it's not a worry. But yeah, if you wanted something else, that could really be a challenge to look into before you get moved up here. One for a great picture. Oh, it's back. Okay, Titus and Jackie. Do you have problems getting certain car brand parts? If so, which brand is easier to get?
That's you, honey.
Wow, that's like directed right at me because that's what I do all day. Um, I guess not really. If you're looking for new parts, you got to shop around. I still do. Um, oh, what is it? That the jingle is in my head about the parts that I used to use all the time back home. Um, can't picture it, but no, I guess I don't have any more problems with one versus the other, unless it's a Mac. If it's a Mac truck, if you're into big trucks, I won't even order them, because all their parts come from the East Coast of the United States and international. I don't work on either of those. Won't even let them in the shop. Anything else? Nothing irregular. Hmm. I've never used one. Yeah, I know. Winter depression is a really big thing here in Alaska because it's extreme. Um, during the winter months like this, it's getting dark now, and it's 3:30. So that's the only way that it makes it harder for me to get stuff done in the winter is I don't have daylight. So we switch over to wearing headlamps full time. But there's certain things you're just not going to do in the dark. You're not cutting trees in the dark or anything like that. So that's where it makes it difficult. I don't personally know anyone that suffers from the winter depression though. Oh my. Mm, okay. Let's see. Self-esteem asks, in place of using costly traditional powered freezer in home in the winters, could you just put it outside? And
Yes.
of course, lock it with a heavy lock for the bears and such for your food. Um, our our freezer, for instance, it stays out on the front porch, and we just unplug it in the winter. It doesn't hurt it at all. Hello, and it looks like alone froze. I don't know. But yeah, it definitely saves on the electricity, and I know keeping up with newer ones makes a difference too. When we first moved here, we bought a used one for 50 bucks. I thought, "Wow, that's a win." The first time I plugged it in, because we're off grid with solar and generator backup, I saw that it was drawing 10 amps. I was like, "Holy cow, I can't afford to run this freezer at all." Yeah, and then, like, 2 weeks later, it kept drawing up to 15 amps, but it put out no cold at all. So we replaced it with a new modern freezer, and it only draws like 2 amps. Are yours are plugged in all year round alone? Right. Yeah. On the meat quick. I started with one burner.
So, yes, we what did we can? We canned beans,
We
green
canned
beans,
beans and carrots
beans, carrots,
and freeze dried a ton of stuff.
and yeah, we freeze dried a lot. And the tomatoes, I have to start them earlier, I believe. I They never turned green before it started freezing, so
No, they started green. They never turned red.
or they never turned red, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, we did, and then they like instantly went to mush. So the chickens, right? Yeah, we had a lot of cucumbers, and I think we ate most of them.
And our cabbage did phenomenal.
Yes.
They were huge. And I tried my hand at making my own sauerkraut, and what it tastes like is canned cabbage. It didn't do the sauerkraut thing at all. But yeah, I still really like it because I love cabbage, but
Yeah,
it doesn't taste like sauerkraut. It tastes like cabbage.
tastes better.
She doesn't like. Oh,
Oh yeah.
absolutely. It is.
What
I
you
did it
did it
with
with
some brats.
brats, yeah.
Yeah, good. Mhm. Oh, very good. Yep. I did it 2 different ways. One, I did a one where you add salt and vinegar and, you kinda pound it and whatever and throw it in the jar and then you pressure can it. The downside of that is you're killing the good things that are sauerkraut is supposed to be beneficial for your gut health. Then I tried it the other way and I bought these glass weights to put on it after I crushed it and did all the things, and I don't know, I get a lot of mold on it. Maybe that's normal. I don't know. I've never made sauerkraut before, and I haven't tried. No, I get full on mold. I thought it no, it's blue. It's got all the
That's
colors.
pretty.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, something with the pH. Yep, yep. Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'll wait till Rob comes over to try it.
Nice.
Mhm. Mm, yeah. Only stories for us. I've not seen anything.
No, I bet my time's coming though.
Mhm.
I hope.
Probably. Yeah,
As long as Rob and Sarah don't scare him away.
right. Wow. That's a question.
I work at a thrift store. It has nothing to do with the supernatural.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
oh, yeah, can I tell that? Okay. So weirdly enough, I stayed in the not the trapper's cabin, but the other cabin. And well,
No.
no, that's not the weird part. And but when I got there, I brought a couple of chainsaws and I set one on the chair outside the porch. Why not? I can't hurt anything. Well, I slept on the couch that night down by the fire and with facing the door because that's just what I would do. And at 6 or 6:30 in the morning, the floor squeaks a little bit, through the kitchen. Just a light little squeak when you walk across it. And I woke up wide awake listening to squeak, 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 like walking from the door to the stove. I'm like, what is going on? Did Rob come in here when I'm sleeping? That is weird. I got up, I looked around, there was nothing. I didn't get a creepy feeling or anything, but something clearly walked across the floor. It's something at least my weight. And I looked around outside, it wasn't even windy. And I was like, holy, something just walked across the floor. And then I didn't go back to sleep after that because Rob said, wow, you're up early. Because usually I'm a late riser if I can be because I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day during the week. And no, I was up. That was, yeah.
So
And I think it was because the gentleman that used to live there, he passed away sitting on a chair, sitting on the front porch of the cabin. So there's always a chair on the front porch of the cabin. Unfortunately, nobody told me this story, and I put a chainsaw on his chair. So I think that's why he came to visit.
yeah.
Yep, yeah, and I circled back to it. So yeah, that's probably the weirdest thing I've seen. I I mean, other than like Big Lake Brandy, but that's a whole nother story that we won't get into today.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, he was there with me that night.
Which is fine. He doesn't seem to be malicious or anything. He just
Yeah. No, I didn't get that feeling, but I mean, honestly, it was clearly someone walked across that floor, and it was at the rate of speed that I would walk. It wasn't like just a squeak and nothing. It was like 6 in a row. So, yep, a little bit. Yeah, it should. Well, they make the penetrator rounds for that too, Rob? Yeah. So remember the biggest difference from hunting moose or bear versus a deer that everyone else hunts. Um, you've got to go through like 6 8 inches of fur and bone and stuff before you hit anything vital, and that's where like hollow points and stuff you just don't use up here. Yeah. Leonard Thomas has a good question. How are the veterans affairs in Alaska? Could you use your benefits for more property? What about veterans health benefits? As a veteran, I can honestly tell you that I've never used any of it. The biggest reason being the one time I tried to was a long time ago back in Wisconsin. I wanted to use my, to get a home loan. And the realtor said, if you use that, I'll just sell it to someone else because that process takes too long, which I'm pretty sure is illegal. But at the time, I just went ahead and used a different method. So, but is it available? Yes. Alaska should have the same rights as any other state.
yeah, and as far as the VA, like the doctor, can't remember. There's one in Wasilla, I believe.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm assuming they're about the same as anywhere else.
Probably.
Probably wait too long to get in. And
Hmm.
we go to the thrift store that I work at. So about 2 miles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thrift- yeah.
Yeah, thrift store boots they're hit and miss. I mean, some of them come in, they've been worn twice. Some of them and they're well worn and we check for leaks and stuff like that, but somebody will buy them and come back a couple weeks later and be like, "Yeah, those weren't so good." But for $6 for an $80 pair of boots,
Hmm.
you take your chances.
Too bad they don't spend that quality assurance time on puzzles, huh, Sarah?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right.
So every time we get a new puzzle in, I can hear her. I'll be working on clothes and I'll hear her shake it. And she's like, "Yeah, it sounds like they're all there." And we giggle and think about Sarah and pass it on.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Miss Sloan?
No.
You'd be surprised at how much Tommy Bahama comes through for the men's. Oh, yeah.
Hmm. I've worn shorts twice since we've lived here.
Right.
I used to wear shorts for 4 months straight. So,
So, I'm trying to get Jason to cut a hole in the ice for us again,
hmm,
and, still not gonna wear shorts for that. Still
no,
gonna be long johns
for
and
the Wim Hof swimming.
yeah. And then this coming weekend, I think I might have shorts for that and a long sleeve top.
Hmm,
So,
I'll be at home.
no, you won't.
Hmm.
No, you're driving.
Oh, I'll be probably.
No, next weekend.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Next weekend. Dude, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, and I use an Alaskan chainsaw mill, and looks like I'm going to be using it a lot here soon. Hmm. Yeah, we've got a plan for the cabin that we're going to build, so I already have kind of a materials list going, and I need to get started on it like last week in order to get it done in time. I will.
Perfect.
Jeez.
Oh, look at you, Adam.
Oh, look what I did.
Oh.
Well, alone froze. We have one son, and he's actually been up here for the last year, and he's heading back. Oh, alone is back.
Yeah, she's
Sorry. Um, Other than that, we have had friends come up here several times to visit, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
They're going to be a little taken aback, I think, when we move to the all the way off grid property. But yeah,
And then I have gone back to visit friends and family since we've moved up.
I haven't. Squeeze this. Heck yeah.
Ed's being very supportive.
Hmm.
Yeah, right under the super chat. He said, "At least she never has a funny face when it freezes."
Sawmill. That's for you, Rob. So CNK is asking, would you recommend a good body shop in the Wasilla area? There is one. I can't think of the name right offhand, but we just talked to him this week, asking him how long it would take him to, because I'm repairing a Chrysler Pacifica that had a run in with a dump truck, and the Pacifica lost, if you were wondering. Anyway, they said if we got it there tomorrow, they could get to it middle of January. So,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. Sounds like I should start a body shop. What?
Onstead, and I need to answer Ed.
Oh, here.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, gee.
so almost had a.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
Yep. Yep. And yeah, and I went caribou hunting this year. Unfortunately, I missed more than once.
So did I.
And so did Phyllis, and so did Ricky. However, I will say that I like caribou significantly better than moose. Um, and next year I'll redeem myself. That's my promise. But yeah, caribou is still delicious.
We'll see.
We will. Oh my. No, no, definitely not. Where alone do you get your
She's
reindeer sausage from?
give her a minute.
And I know she keeps a Templo in her house. Maybe that's the issue.
Honestly, any of our friends from Wisconsin want to ship us some venison. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I miss the venison.
Well, there's also options to book a hunt on like Cook Island. No, we
Is
don't.
blacktail and whitetail going to be the same?
It, probably not exactly, because I'm sure the blacktail aren't eating corns and soybean. But uh-oh. Yep. So yeah, for a venison option, we do have there are deer on the islands on Hitchinbrook and Kodiak and probably some others. I don't know. One of the islands also has elk on it as well.
Ed is saying Sitka blacktail. I want to
Hmm.
try it. See if it's
Yeah.
like the Wisconsin venison.
Well, Alone had highlighted this comment, so I'll go ahead and read it while she's getting back to us. Kim I did a super chat of $10, beer or cider on me, or tequila here in New Mexico. Be well. Thank you for that, Kim.
Well, we might have to go get some tequila in New Mexico.
That doesn't sound like a terrible idea. Yep. And let's see. Northern Girl Hobbies says I'm heading out, folks. Been a long few days. I think the only way we can ship venison over the border is if it's in jerky form. Gotcha.
Yeah, but
And Ed is reminding me, Hitchinbrook, just don't take an 18-foot boat there. I had asked him that on a live, and he informed me that I will promptly die if I try to take an 18-foot boat there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um, yep. Sea Life asks, does elk differ from moose?
Yes.
Definitely. Yep. Elk is different than moose. Moose is a kind of on the lines of venison. It's very, it's a lean meat, no fat in it at all. But elk, I would say, kind of really tastes like a really good beef to me, where moose never quite tastes like that. And the worst meat I've eaten here is muskox. Uh, and I've
That
heard,
was like super chewy. It took more calories to eat it than it gave.
yeah, yeah. I think if I got a muskox here, I'd grind the whole thing
Yeah.
because we were eating tenderloin and it was tough.
It was not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I will say, now I had bear for the first time this year up at Rob's, and it was
Mhm.
black bear, and I gotta admit, it was delicious. It was actually a little bit sweet.
Yeah. And it was very tender. It's way more tender than I expected it to be.
Mhm. Right. Oh, yeah.
And that you didn't leave for more than
I don't know.
so many weeks.
Right.
And you also have to be careful because around the dividend time, signs start popping up alongside the road that say PFD thief
Yeah.
because people own property, they claim residency, but they don't actually live here, and but somehow they've gotten through the system.
Yep.
So don't try and cheat it.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you will go to jail for that. They do not mess around with the PFD. And the PFD, I mean, everybody says, "Oh my gosh, Alaska pays you to live there." $1,750 is not a life-changing experience. Not in Alaska. I know alone, for instance, she pays almost $700 a month to heat her property.
Hey, there
There
she
she
is.
is. Yeah.
Speaking of the
Oh, it's like we're do we have to restart the whole live now or
devil.
well, that's fine because it's gonna take that long for that prime rib to get done. Oh, that was just we were talking about the, PFD, and somebody had asked, "How long do you have to live here to get the PFD?" Okay. Yep. Right. Right. And no yep. And no 1968 Alaska sourdough. I will not be trying brown bear. Thank you for that. No. Oh
Oh,
my. Wow. Yes. Yeah, we kind of answered this one. Elk is definitely different than moose. It's a little fattier than moose, and honestly, I like it a little better. I'm not saying I don't like moose. Don't get me wrong. If you actually manage to harvest one, you've got 1,200 pounds of it. So, um, yeah. Who's asking?
CK.
Okay. Northern Girl Hobby says moose is my fave, but I've never tried elk. Jerky swap, perhaps. I probably won't be hunting elk here. The only place that they are, somebody had commented on here, it's a Fognac Island, and it is a brutal hunt. You have to you have to you walk in, they drop you off on shore, and to get to where the elk are, you've got quite the bluff to travel up. And if you're lucky to get one, then you have to carry them all the way down. Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Okay. No, I have.
Well, I take mine into the thrift store because there's a washer and dryer there. But yeah, our little washing machine for emergency purposes.
Was not. But but Sarah, you and Phyllis were talking about using a system where it dumps the original wash water into a wash basin, and then you can reuse it a second time.
They
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Oh, not a problem. It was just gonna do the same thing probably.
Oh, mm, okay. Um,
That one's you,
oh
honey.
no, they're asking animated, so
Yeah.
I'd have to say Rudolph was my favorite.
The claymation.
Yeah, the claymation one of Rudolph. That was hands down my favorite. I still would watch it. Maybe not.
Well, there was Frosty and
Oh yeah,
the Heat Miser.
yeah, yeah.
There's that one.
My favorite movie though is definitely The Family Vacation, Christmas Vacation
Oh,
with Chevy Chase.
yeah. What?
Well, Phyllis brings up a good point. Die Hard. That I think that's an official Christmas movie, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. One of my favorites. Mhm. Definitely. No, we do not. Nope, no milder or whitetail or rattlesnake. No snakes. Definitely. Hmm, hmm, wow. Yeah, and that was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, by the way.
Oh,
Probably like the best movie ever. Okay, so this one oh, I
oh,
was gonna
oh.
read it, but yeah. Okay.
What did I miss? What's it been down for?
I'm not sure.
That's a timer.
Yeah, I know what it
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah.
Music. Oh, right.
Hmm. Hmm.
I will be using them on our new property.
Oh, definitely. I'll
Yep.
make you a couple. Sea Light is asking, how about mosquitoes? I'm not sure what the question is about mosquitoes other than we have all of them.
Mhm.
Um, Also, none of our mosquitoes carry diseases. West Nile virus, anything like that. The spring mosquitoes, I don't know why. Maybe it's me, but the spring mosquitoes are by far the worst. This last year, we were cutting firewood. There were still 2 feet of snow on the ground, and they bit the daylight out of my neck, and I swelled up like I had a bad case of hives.
Yeah.
And the mosquitoes in the spring are like the size of a hummingbird, so you'd think I would notice them biting me, but I didn't. Mhm. Yep, they were awful. Oh, yes, we have.
Yes, but this alone did not join us, so that was a sadness.
You know, that was the weird one too alone because we had some awesome success out there, and I took some pictures sending it to you, just kinda picking on you because you weren't there, and you got them, like, 5 months later. Yeah, it was
Right.
yeah, yeah. That was fun. This last year, we were all gonna go, and Alone couldn't make it, but Rob and Sarah did, and they got to have the experience. So, what did you guys think of that? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
ton of fun.
Like I said, I think next time, let's do it even more relaxed.
Yeah.
And as long as the weather is good like it was this last year, let's just hang out on the beach and
Mhm. Yeah, and
yeah,
I'm not bringing the boat this year. No. Mhm.
yeah.
Definitely. Hmm. Titus and Jackie are asking, "Do you find that a dog is a must-have for security or early warning system?" Well, I personally wouldn't say that it's a must-have, but boy, is it helpful.
Yes.
If Ruger steps out on the front porch and there's a moose in the yard, he won't leave the porch, and he's a big German Shepherd,
And
and
he'll just freeze and look, and so then I know to just freeze and look and see what's going on before I take another step.
yeah.
Of course. Yep. Yeah.
Hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Um, Not to change the subject or anything here, but before we accidentally leave and it's on my mind and I'm having a squirrel moment, um,
It happens.
does anybody want to do a Christmas Eve live or Christmas Day? What are your thoughts? And what are your thoughts out there, viewers? I mean, we're in.
Did it work?
I don't
No.
know. I don't know what. Hmm. Alone, what's your thoughts? Yeah. Okay. Okay. That works.
Yeah.
Perfect. That works. Hmm. Yeah.
Huh?
We tend to. Mhm. That changes things, Rob. If I can't get K whale, I don't know if I'm gonna come up there now.
It's so
I
I'll
got
get in my truck after Adam's been driving it and the radio's blaring. I'm like, "Oh, turn it off."
but it's K whale.
It is KWOW.
Yeah.
There's a lot of channels in our area.
Yeah, a lot. And as far as TV goes for us, we like to watch like series. So like Dexter. Now we're watching. I bought the whole House box set because I know we saw a lot of them, but we missed a lot. And I absolutely love watching House or Game of Thrones or
Mhm.
whatever.
The next one will be Yellowstone,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
Yellowstone.
ones before that.
But otherwise, honestly, we watch a lot of YouTube.
Oh,
Gotcha.
that's right. There is a new season coming out.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Ira Handworker asks, are you able to get deliveries from Amazon warehouses in the lower 48? Yes, we are. Yeah. Yeah, you're not getting anything with a lithium battery in it. And as far as getting Amazon Prime so you get it next day, that doesn't happen.
Nope.
That's impossible. Never order anything next day air, huh? They have because now Amazon has a warehouse in Anchorage.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah. No. No, and I'm gonna be ordering one of those, so I'm kind of excited to try that out. Yep. J. Allen Noel asks, "Is hunting season overcrowded with hunters as it is in the lower 48?" Well, I
Right.
I would say if you can get there by four-wheeler, it's gonna be overcrowded. If you can get there by air, not at all. It pays to fly in. Otherwise, yeah, it'll get just as overcrowded because there's not a lot of access up here. There's like three roads. So if it's within that road system, there will be people on it. So a lot of people will, like me, I can take my boat up the river, or you fly in if you want to not deal with the overcrowding issue. Right. True. Oh my. Nope. I'll do it, but the volume will be off, Arlen.
Right.
We got checking the turkey timer. And we don't have it. Right.
No, no, we do not. Thanks, honey. Yeah, let's not.
I love you.
So much right now.
For us to get to Rob's or the new property, it's a 1 hour drive and then a 13-mile train ride. So in the train, well, it depends on the time of year. If it's during the summer, whew, it could take 45 minutes. If it's during the winter when there's not a lot of people on the train, it might only take like 10 minutes to get there. So I, I couldn't
That's
believe it.
because I was there.
Yeah. No, I have that was brutal.
That was
Uh,
that was character making that day.
yeah, it definitely tested your metal or your clothes anyway.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, that was the only thing that saved my life, I think. That fur coat was except for he was wearing it.
yeah, I took it. Lord Metal's asking, do you have or use ham radios for comms? We do not. Alone? Hmm. Nice.
This is for Ashley. Yep. I wore them today.
If you're not familiar, in our live streams,
Let's see.
Phyllis always has earrings on, and most people refer to them as her fishing lures. And these actually came from Ashley Anderson. He made them.
They are cotton and whitetail hair, and I do love them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley.
Mm-hmm. Mary Luong is asking, do you carry bear spray when you go out and about? No, I don't.
Well, it's in a metal form instead of pepper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We carry firearms. Hmm.
Yes. Yeah. And I tell people that come into the thrift store asking
I'll take care of them.
okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If you need to have hands on, so you really believe that it is what it is, I go to the stores. Uh, but online's pretty huge here because there's a lot of stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
So unless of course it has a lithium battery. But
Right.
yeah, no. We read this one, I think.
Oh.
No. Fleas, yeah.
Some days, but a lot of times they're brought in from people bringing their critters from down south. But yeah, since our dogs have been here, don't have to worry about tea and flick medication.
Tea and flick.
Wow.
Wow. Flea and
I screwed that one up. Thank you. I'll give you some tea. Right now, I went right. It's 7 Up right now. So, nah, he doesn't know how.
no. No, I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
I'm not drinking that stuff.
No. Hmm. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That figures. I think it's I think tu it's called tularemia. Yeah.
How do you know
I
this?
remember that from the last time we had this conversation, and Ed commented that. Yeah.
We do occasionally.
Not much. I
No.
guess if you lived in Big Lake or Wasilla or Anchorage, you would hear it, but, not out here. Not since the truck broke down.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't eat too much because we're gonna have supper.
Yeah. No, we used to have a lot of people come into the yard, and then we got German Shepherds, and now nobody comes even close to the yard. Well, or no.
Not even really here, and we're not far from town.
Yeah, they could get here. They could drive here to where we live. Will they? Probably not.
No.
They've got bigger fish to fry. There's police are few and far between up here. Not yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. Yep.
No.
No. But the bigger problem with the king salmon is that yes, any of us residents can fish them. However, they changed the rules. They're like on a timer, and they changed the rules. Like right when the season opens, there's places you can go to catch them, and then like on the Copper River, for a while you'll be allowed to catch one in your net. Anything else has to be released, and then when they see the numbers, then they shut that off too. So, not much for king salmon fishing up here. No,
Mm-mm.
and it changes from river to river. Right, right, very right, right. Yep. Joanne Oscarson is asking, are your firearms 10 millimeter or greater? I assume she's talking about the sidearms. How about you, Alone? Right. Yeah. And I carry a 10 millimeter in a 1911 style, and Phyllis carries a 45, but that has the max penetrator rounds to make up for the 200 feet per second slower that it is.
And I also have my
357.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
There's an apothecary in Wasilla. I can't remember the name of it. I think so. I'll have to get the name of it from Charlene. Oh, really?
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our supper might be almost done.
Oh, I don't.
What? It's getting thirsty. Oh,
No. Yeah. Hmm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever had that. That was quite good. That's a good question. So, well, alone's the only one that can answer that, really. Huh. Yeah, I'll be looking out for that. I don't know. I think I've done far better than a normal live.
I
I,
think so. Maybe.
and I deserve it. So,
No.
yeah, guaranteed. I've been starting from since I woke up. Janet Parrish, how was everyone's Thanksgiving? Mine was okay. Good to see y'all. Well, welcome, Janet. I don't know. We haven't eaten yet.
Right. It's only 4:44.
Yep. Now, alone, you can do this, right? Yep. Oh, wow. That's holy cow. That, yeah. We'd have to have the fish racks outside with a big fire underneath of them to do that. Good. Okay. Oh, wow.
I'm still having a moment. Somehow there's balloons. I don't know what happened. It's fine. I'm okay.
Huh. Titus and Jackie is saying, do you find it hard to buy firearms or ammo supply low? Seasonally, certain types of ammo will go really low. Like if I buy a firearm, whatever firearm that is, that ammo will be non-existent. Um, as an example, I just bought a 4570, and the only ammo available is 4 boxes of subsonic ammo, which I don't want. Uh, yeah, they got 4 boxes of it at Three Bears on whatever, right in Wasilla there.
Pittman.
Well, I will get you some next time I go. But what do you have? The gun that you can't get ammo for anywhere? No, the one that you can't, the 338 Win Mag. Yeah, that ammo is like non-existent in Alaska, and that cartridge was actually designed for Alaska. So go figure. But otherwise, not really. Yep. Okay.
For
Just
me, it's a normal mosquito bite.
yeah, it's just the spring ones that bother me. After that, the rest of the year, the teeny tiny ones that you can barely see, they don't bother me at all. But the spring ones are brutal. Hmm, yep.
I'm Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's more fish and game
Yeah.
than there is police force.
And up here, the state patrol is also fish and game. They're two separate, but they also cross over. So if state patrol pulls you over and you've got a 49-inch moose in your truck with two brow tines, he's going to get you just as well as fish and game would. Hmm. Hmm. No, definitely don't. Self esteem is asking, where can I find the others channels? Well, I think we've got some pretty awesome
Mm.
moderators in here, and they're trying to post as many links to the other channels in here as possible.
So if you see Old School Alaska, look for the links there, and he has gotten just about every channel that's been in the chat, including us, Rob, and himself, which is good. Yep, yep, I'm seeing them. So our moderators are doing fantastical.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah. P&J's is another one who's working overtime out there to get those channel links out there. So,
Yes.
uh, yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
are. We are. I'm going to go ahead and say it because they didn't tell me I couldn't. Uh, we're better to ask for forgiveness than permission, I guess. But we are going to be meeting P&J's up at Chena Hot Springs next Friday. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, we're looking forward to it, and it's 20 below, so we're looking forward to it even more.
It's gonna that's gonna be some hair-raising experience.
Yeah. Yep, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Yep. Hmm.
I think Ed's had some of his whiskey.
Yeah, and Mountain Mariner is living on the edge. He said that he got between a panda and bamboo once. Not good.
He keeps it up with the dad jokes and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah, it's almost like we planned it, but none of us knew each other when we moved up here. But through YouTube, that's the weird thing. Through YouTube, we've all become, I would say, friends, darn near family. So It's pretty awesome. Well, if you if you go to Fisher's Fuel in Big Lake, Alaska, right now, it's 2.99 a gallon. Otherwise, most places are like 3.25.
Yeah. Oh.
Hmm, that'd be cool. Oh, I got some. Hold on. Well, I don't look for any of them because I'm pretty sure I would die if I ate one. But on that property that
He's
we're
not dramatic.
I'm not dramatic. That's not a
No.
dramatization. On that property that we're buying, there was a ammo can up there, and it had some books in it, and one of them was, and these are from 1983, No Alaska's Mushrooms, right there. And after 2 out of 3 of the mushrooms in here, it says poisonous and you'll die. So I'm not doing it. I'm not even going to try. Yeah.
This was printed and distributed under Acts of Congress May 8th and June 30th of 1914. For all you book nerds.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a book nerd.
You are. Book nerd. Cripple Creek Farm 1234 is asking, did you all transport your vehicles? We did not drive here. We put 3 vehicles on the ferry, and they brought them up here. And then we bought vehicles while we were here, of course, because we only own one of the original 3 that we had. Or no, we have 2. We have the RV, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I forgot. Alone? Oh, you did. Okay.
Oh, he's here.
He's
He's here.
Oh, Matt AK made it. Alone, you drove up, right? Okay. Yep. We spent $15,800 to get our RV, my Super Duty with a 16-foot enclosed trailer, and Phyllis's F-150 brought up here. Yep. Nice. Janet Parrish says, thumbs up. You 3 are my favorites on YouTube. Thank you, Janet.
Aw.
You're awesome.
Really, Rob. Oh,
Oh, yep. I don't know. She doesn't
she
look too
seems to be
bad.
fine. She's doing good.
Yep. Yeah. Huge shout out.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah. Thanks everyone for being here. Thank you, mods, for being rock stars like you are every time. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you for the Christmas Eve live. And until then, this is Adam
yeah. And Phyllis.
from Alaska Cut the Floor. Come join us out here. And Rob and Sarah from the Curmudge Inn, and Alone from Alone in Remote Alaska.
You got this.
You guys are all frozen. And they all froze right there. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Bye. You guys
Okay.
are still frozen. Okay, now you're back.